The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Off the play fake. Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
You ain't doing nothing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Orbit.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Now. Check. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 280. Easy. Kill.
On first and 10, here's Carr. He's got Green. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. They'll run with Sanders. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he can get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's third down.
Down. 280.
Mine's 49.
Cut. Watch the twist. 280. Cut.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned teams down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Hey, turn it out, turn it out. Check. Deep grip.
On second down, Michelle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in.
Let's go, fellas.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Looking to throw. Herbert. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Herbert, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Now, listen, now, no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Play action. Now it's Carr. Josh Allen in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
All day, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, defense. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, defense.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening week. And he's going to go down again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's Jackson to return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle. Now this throw caught left side, and he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that, that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Here we go.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. To Michel on the screen. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. 22 yards there, a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Hey, Echo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Check. Hard.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
18 Gator. 6'6", bullet high. I got him.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half. Played.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
What now?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr complete to Jones. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
Express.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Carl come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game.
Come on. 59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check.
From the gun, it's Carr.
Here I come again.
Jones has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line.
Right down.
55. White Monday.
You don't know no better. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Over 30 yards there. And 1st downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Carr is complete to Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
White Monday down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Watch the curls. Sponge.
OP.
No.
They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time, we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Ready,
The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though. Put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
First down, Cleveland.
Hey, Jack.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
And we're going 37.
Off play action. Herbert
right here. We got to step it up.
going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Herbert. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd?
Ready.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now, they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get down. That's it.
Shotgun now for Carr. He completes it to Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Monday, down. 180.
54. Watch the pass.
8 or 9.
On first down, it's Sanders.
Watch the whip.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Baby, get him, boys. Get him, boys.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Browns' 44-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
52's the mic. Quit talking about it and bring it.
From the 44, Carr, he's going to air one out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Mike 56.
Again, it's Michel. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Here we go. Set. 90. Wolf. Bam. Bam. Hit it.
Now a toss, left side, Michel. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Okay, work with me here. Make sure I'm clear on this one. Inside their own 10-yard line, and they run a toss play. I know it works, but ordinarily that takes a lot of chutzpah to do something like that because only thing more dangerous is trying to throw the ball in that situation and maybe taking a big loss.
I'm here all day. Kill.
Recon, 132 fighter. Shoot.
On 4th down, Herbert rolling to his right. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that first down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the first. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Let's go.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Situation. Let's go.
2nd and 11.
Check 13. Check 13.
Catch made by Slayton. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Protein spill.
Undercrush.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Herbert looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Terry McLaurin, 74 yards, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Carr. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
10, Kill.
61, matchbox lights.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Green brings it in. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it. It's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Right back to Sanders on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw, Carr. Open man is Jacob Hollister. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now Carr. It's caught by Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now all of a sudden, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Let's bring it.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got
Easy. Kill. He's checking.
They're going to try and run. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution from the 21. It's 2nd and 10.
Watch 54.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Five.
He's back to throw.
He don't want it.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
We got this.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Monday, down. 180.
Mike part 2.
They'll run on first down. Sanders. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Down. 185.
There, 54 Mike. Here we go, G.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Boom! Yeah!